So if you haven't heard and you've been living under a rock, well, you might have missed that the summit is having some huge changes coming to title update 11.1. And when I tell you these updates are only going to benefit the summit, benefit players, benefit your overall gameplay experience, I really truly believe that, because some of these changes that they talked about and that we'll talk about in this video are very good, and I was very impressed with the state of the game and everything they did say. So let's dive into those changes. So they started off with talking about the summit title update 11.1 will address topics brought up by the community, including difficulty, directives, targeted loot. We want to fulfill the player's fantasy of climbing floor 1 to 100 with customized challenge and reward, right? So they want it to be challenging, they want it to be rewarding, and they want you to have total control over that, which was actually pretty cool. So they actually got into difficulty, directives, targeted loot, and improvements coming to title update 11. So the first change that they made was to the whole UI system. So when you look at the summit, right? The summit has this 1 through 100. Now they are taking away rally points. So this is not going to be how you see your main screen when you get into the summit. So no longer will you be able to go to level 11, 21, 31. There's no longer rally points. So let's forget about that. But a lot of you guys might be concerned, but it got better, right? So this is the new UI system that we're going to be seeing. If you look closely, you can see it says starting floor 34. It has a difficulty heroic. It has active directives. It looks like it has 2 right there. So you get plus 50%. And then has additional targeted loot chance bonus. So with this, you will start wherever you left off. So if you play for a couple hours and you get to 40, well, the next time you get on, you'll start at 40, right? You'll no longer start at the last rally point. So you'll be able to always start at the last floor you just finished off on. So whatever floor you finish on, you go to sleep, you wake up the next day, that's where you can go. Now, you'll be able to select difficulty for every single floor from normal, hard, challenging, heroic, and legendary. So that means floor 1 can actually be the hardest difficulty in the game, legendary. You decide that. Now for directives, you can select the directives you want. You can select up to all 9 directives. Yes, all 9 directives that they have in the game. I believe there's 9. Yeah, there's 9 directives, so you can select all of them if you want. So you get 25% extra XP for every directive you have active. Not only that, for every directive you do have active, you get additional target loot chance bonus. So that means a better chance, right? So if you have 2 directives, 2, 3, and so on. So the more directives, the better targeted loot chance bonus you get, plus the more XP you get. And of course, it's gonna be hard. So for you to have all 9, that might be a little bit tough, but yeah, it's definitely gonna be worth it. And whenever you want to change the difficulty, you can change the difficulty. So if you take a break, you come back, you're on 34, and you're like, you know what? I want to play legendary. Well, you can play legendary. You can change this at any time. And if you do all 9 directives, that's 175% extra XP, plus an additional targeted loot chance bonus of 9. Yes, all 9, that's what you would be doing. Now, directives increase targeted loot chance in the open world too. So that is something that they wanted to mention that does affect the open world too. So that's pretty cool to hear. Now, they explained how it works, right? So you remember respawning starts every 3 levels because that's where you get that hidden checkpoint. So if, for instance, if you played on Tuesday with your friends, right, a 4-player co-op, and you did legendary floors 1 through 36, you took a break, you didn't play till Friday. Well, on Friday you came back. Well, you wouldn't start on 36. You would start on the floor that has that checkpoint. So it would be 34 in this case. And then you could decide to swap that to heroic because you're playing by yourself, or you're playing with 3 players and you want to put 3 directives. Well, you could play 34 all the way to 80. Then decide, you know what, I'm gonna take a break, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. So Saturday you come back and you have floors 80 to 99. And you're like, you know what, let's do legendary, but we want no directives. Well, that's up to you. And you can do this by yourself or with the player. And then you take another break. And then on Sunday, you decide, you know what, I really want to beat it. So I lowered it to heroic, no directives, solo, 97 to 100. And then once you finish 100, that's when you'll start all the way over. And then that means that same Sunday, you decided, I want to play it again. I'm going to start on hard, 6 directives, solo, and then you do floors 1 through 22. So this is just an example of how you can just keep modifying the difficulty, the floors at your choosing. Once you go, you'll always go 1 through 100 first, and then you'll start over once you make it to 100. So there's always a full playthrough. Now, even though you do choose the difficulty from start to finish, as you go up each floor level, you will get more elites. It's definitely gonna get harder. So maybe floor 1 legendary, you have a lot of reds and maybe 1 or 2 gold, right? Elites. Well, then maybe once you get to floor 30, by the time you get there, you're getting more elites and then maybe some higher name bosses or something like that. So that's just something for you guys to keep in mind. They do kind of show you floor 30 will have bosses 1. Once you get to floor 70, you have 2 bosses, and so on. And then lieutenant squads, what levels they come up. So that's just something for you to keep in mind, that even though you select the difficulty, say you do hard, it's gonna get harder as you go up. And that's what's pretty cool. Yeah, I want it to get a little bit more difficult as I continue to climb. Even if I'm playing on the hardest difficulty I think I can play on, which is challenging, I still want a little bit more of a challenge. And that's what they plan on doing with threat scaling as you climb the tower. So once the update goes live, everybody will start on floor 1. You climb up at your own pace. Once you finish floor 100, you repeat. Now there is new threat scaling, so higher floors equal more bosses and elites, like I just told you, and you resume on checkpoints, which is every 3 levels. You'll see at the very bottom says checkpoint. Every 3 levels is where you get a checkpoint, and that's where you will resume once you start playing. So whether you die, take a break, whether you just say, hey guys, I'm gonna get off, you'll resume at that checkpoint. Then they talk about targeted loot, right? So we all know there's targeted loot in the Division 2, but what about the summit? Because a lot of people said they wish they could select the loot that they are farming. Well, they added targeted loot selection. So whether you're looking for pistols, SMGs, whether you're looking for True Patriot, Hardwire, Hunter's Fury, Negotiators, whatever piece you're looking for, brand set, gear set, you can now target farm that. You select from a menu like this, and then on the top right, you'll see it says Hunter's Fury. So that is the targeted loot. That is huge. This is probably gonna be the best place to farm targeted loot, because say you put, you want a Wyvern piece, right? Well, you'll put the Wyvern, you'll just keep farming the levels, and you'll constantly get those pieces, and you don't even have to go restart a mission or anything. You can just keep doing the summit, which is crazy. So they did mention that personal target selection, right? That loot target selection is only for the summit, but they are going to have individual allocation per gear set. For instance, right now you can only farm all green gear sets in one location, but say now you could have a mission that has True Patriot, and then you could farm True Patriot. Or if you're looking for Hunter's Fury, you can also farm that. So that will be in the open world. They also talk about the targeted loot selection example for the summit. In a group, you select your own what will drop for you. So look, player 1 has Eclipse for floors 1 through 22. Floors 23 to 36, he has Bellstone Armory. Player 2, he wants 1 through 36 to be Providence pieces. Player 3, Sokolov and Hunter's Fury. Player 4, Pistol knee pads. And what's crazy about that is you can share all this, right? So say if you guys are looking for something, you can share all of it. Not only that, they are bringing a new project to the summit. Complete the summit on any difficulty, and this is once a week. You can get an exotic cache, a name item, crafting blueprint, and it also gives you specialization points for your tree. Very, very cool. They're giving you a reason to play the summit once a week, and even play it daily if you're looking for new pieces, right? Now they did talk about the exotic chest piece, right? A lot of you guys say it's not worth it. Well, they are going to be buffing it. So bleeding edge, shooting enemies within 15 meters applies a bleed to the target, but the repair has been buffed significantly. Repair 3 to 48% of your armor per second for every enemy that is bleeding within 15 meters. Repair strength per number of bleeding enemies is 3%, 2 enemies 6%, 3 enemies 12%, 4 enemies 24%, and 5 enemies 48%. So half of your armor. That's pretty insane right there. So definitely something I want to finish. I haven't finished my project, so once I finish my project and then this new update, title update 11.1 comes out, I'm probably going to be playing with this, and I think it's going to be Very, very good. So additional improvements, they did mention those: gameplay, more objectives, quicker laptop interaction animation, holding shade crates is more beneficial, new UI notifications about exotic fire teams and bosses, Ridgeway Pride, bleeding edge talent buffed, parts drop based on floor number and increase drop chances. So they're gonna increase those drop chances. Quest now only requires neutralizing 2 hunters / rogues, because they said as a solo player you usually only get 2 to spawn for you, so to have to do it more than once wasn't fair versus if you did it in a group. So they did drop that at 2. And then they have that weekly project, which we already mentioned. I want to know what you guys think about these changes coming to the summit. Do you think they're good, bad? Let me know in the comment section. I think this really makes the summit one of the most lucrative farming locations, especially if you play in a group. It makes it even more lucrative. But if you play solo, still you could pick what you want, how hard you want to play. If you want to play normal all the way to the top, it gives those players that chance, which is really cool. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully this is some good news you've been looking for. Let me know in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next Division 2 video, but until then, Nothing But Skills is out.